everybody, it's Sherry. Today's video is kind of more like one of my rants slash storytelling, I don't know. But I'm going to tell you guys about that time I took a lesson at 1MILLION dance studio. So this happened, I think 2 years ago, and I had wanted to film it and talk about it at the time, but I was still like really shy. I'm still really like fucking shy in real life, and so I have issues with like talking to the camera in areas with a lot of people when I'm just by myself. And since I tend to do a lot of traveling by myself, like the trip I'm talking about, I went to Seoul by myself. I think it was a week-long trip during spring break, and I was just like too shy to talk to the camera and narrate my whole trip there. So I was looking for photos and I remembered, all right, this happened and I want to tell you guys about it. So I am like not 100% familiar with 1MILLION dance studio. I had seen some of the videos they were doing, but I knew of like Mina Myoung, and I was just like, oh, I want to go take a class with Mina Myoung. And so I didn't plan this ahead of time, but when I was sort of on the plane, I was like, okay, what are the things I want to do in Korea? Because this was like my second or third trip there already, and I'm like, I can take this dance lesson. I can like try to be productive instead of just eating a bunch of food. But I was like, okay. So I didn't need to do any pre-sign up. Also, this was like 2 years ago, so things might have changed. I don't know what the situation is now, but back then I didn't need to do any pre-sign up or anything like that. I got the address from like someone else's vlog or blog about it, and I was like, okay. I looked up the classes. I'm like, this date, it was in the middle of the week, Mina is teaching a class, let's just go do it and see how it is. Now, disclaimer, I am not a very good dancer. I will never claim to be. I was just like, I can go here and learn. When it came up, I got to the address, I went upstairs, and I was like worried, like, oh, is signing up gonna be an issue? Because my Korean is like really bad, really, I like talk like an elementary school student, like even worse than that. So when I got there, the person at the front desk was super nice, and she spoke English, and she was like, okay, let's get you signed up for an account, because you need an account to sign up for the classes. So we got an account. I had to make a PIN for it, and I paid for it. It wasn't very expensive. I don't remember the exact amount, but I remember thinking that, oh, this is a lot cheaper than the classes they give when they like go abroad. Like I remember, I think they were giving classes in New York, and it was much more expensive than the classes they give at the studio in Seoul, which makes sense. It is like probably expensive to get them there abroad. So I had to line up. I got there like half an hour before the class was supposed to begin, and there were already people lined up. Now the space isn't very big. They have like a couple of dance rooms, and you line up in front of the dance room. They had tape on the floor to tell you like how to line up, and at a certain point, because the room wasn't like as big as you would expect, at a certain point they'd be like, okay, this is the like largest amount of people that can go in. So I signed up. There's an area for you to change if you need to, and for you to store your stuff, and then you just kind of wait until you can go in for the lesson. If there's another lesson going on in there, you can like look through the door, like you see in some of the YouTube videos. There's people like looking in through the door, but you're not allowed to take a video of it. So I kind of waited for my turn. There were a lot of people, but not to the extent where it was like full. We got in, Mina came in, I'm just like, oh, that's Mina Myoung. Like, she's like such a good dancer, she's a choreographer, so amazing. And then we kind of got into the dance room, and you sort of like line up in lines, and you just start with a couple of stretches, and then immediately go into whatever dance that they're teaching. And so if you've been to a dance class before, it's just like very standard and very similar to that. If you haven't, what kind of happens is throughout the week or month, the dance teachers will have a dance that they want to teach, and then they teach like part 1 one day, part 2 the other day, part 3 the other day, and you don't need to know like the first part to learn the second part, because if you can only show up to like part 2, that's like fine, and you just learn part 2, you won't learn part 1. And so I think on that day was just like the first part of a dance, and so most of the time you're not going to get filmed. I know like a lot of people want or don't want to be on the YouTube channel, because what you see is actually the students like standing there participating or like filming. And when you sign up for the account, you sign something that says like, I'm okay with being filmed for their YouTube and stuff, or for promotions, and you sign that. But I think, yeah, when I was there, it was like no filming. It was just like people there to learn the dance. The dance was for the song Flip Mode, which I wasn't like familiar with it, but it was just kind of like, she played a bit, she like did the dance, and then she counted in the dance moves. So you just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all that, and we just try to copy her. And every once in a while she like turn around and be like, any questions in Korean? And then also sometimes she would like ask in English. So like, any questions? And then if you had a question, you just like raise your hand and ask. So here's the thing. After that, she would put you into like these groups just by where you were standing, and then you would dance the dance in front of everybody in your group. And it was just like meant for her to see like, how is everyone doing, and are you good or not? Like not like are you good, but are you okay? And then how everyone in the group was doing, and if there were any major issues, she'd like say it. And it was like supposed to be like a confidence booster as well. I was not very good in the class, and you could sort of tell that I was there just because like, it's Mina Myoung. But a lot of people were very serious, and you could tell they've been like training with her for a while, so they were much more like you know, better at the style and better at following the steps. Don't be embarrassed if you just want to go and like learn, even though you're not very good. No one in the class like is going to judge you. They're all like trying to improve and trying to look at themselves, or they're just like focused on the teacher. So don't worry about that. And like most of the time everyone's just like cheering and clapping, be like, yeah. So it's really pretty fun. But if you do go, know that unless you sign up for a beginner course, it is pretty intense. Like, there's so many people in the room that the teacher doesn't have time to go like one-on-one with you, being like this is the exact step. It's more of just like everyone has to try to follow, and if you have any questions you can ask, but she doesn't have time to like one-on-one teach you everything. And then afterwards, I was about to leave, and then I noticed some like girls going over to the teacher and being like, hey, can we get a picture? And she's like so nice. She's like, yes. And I'm like, I want that. I want a picture. So I went up and she's like, hi, can I please get a picture with you? And she's like, yeah, sure, okay. And so we took like a selfie, and it was very fun. And it was like a very memorable thing that I did. If I was ever in Korea for the long term, I might sign up for more of the beginner courses, just not necessarily with Mina, because I think she left. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I'm not like up to date on all my like 1 million news, but I want to take some of the more like beginner courses so I can learn more of like, I guess, learn more of the basics and then try to work my way up. But if you don't have that time and you just want to go for like one lesson to see how it is, I mean, just like go for it. It's your experience, yo. Go for it. Don't be embarrassed. Don't worry too much about it. Just go with the mindset of trying to learn something and work hard at it. And if you're not that good, it's okay. No one there is like going to judge you. And even if they do, don't give a shit, yo. Lesson of the video. When did I start doing lessons? I don't know. So yeah, I think that is all I wanted to say about my experience at 1 Million Dance Studio. Just to sum up, like, there's a lot of people. The staff are really helpful, and just like go enjoy yourself if you want to take a lesson. Cool. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm trying to think of like a new intro because I've recently like rebranded, if you haven't seen it all. But so if there's like an intro that's interesting, feel free to leave that in the comments. Always looking forward to, that's almost fell off my desk, always looking forward to video suggestions. So if you have any, leave them out in the comments. I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye bye.